Good evening and thank you for joining us. Mayor Ken Boshkov's State of the City address has once again been pushed off. That's the second time it has been delayed, with Boshkov initially scheduled to deliver it on January 8th. The address is titled All Roads Lead to Thunder Bay. The mayor has hinted that it'll emphasize the city's strategic location in the center of the country while focusing on the projected incoming mining boom. Boshkov says he's a little frustrated about the second delay, as he's had the address ready for weeks now. The mayor stresses finding the right time to deliver the address is important, especially with so many significant events happening at this time.
With the Winter Games coming, some budget sessions, and some odd situations where the council meeting would follow a committee meeting, and that's kind of the rules of procedure. We don't know when that State of the City address could be. It could be at 11:30 at night. So I'm in favor of actually calling perhaps a special meeting, but right now we have a date, so I'm just going to go with that right now.
Boshkov says the address will now most likely be delivered on March 5th. Intercity Shopping Center is celebrating the 1-year anniversary of their compost system connected to the food court. All food waste gets mulched and reused in a more environmentally friendly way instead of just going to the city landfill. Jaden Billick reports.
It's almost a full year that we've been sorting all of the waste here in the food court, and we've had some pretty amazing results.
Starting in 2025, businesses throughout Ontario will be expected to comply with organic waste conversion. Intercity Shopping Centre decided to get ahead of the curve last year and purchased a piece of equipment called the Food Cycler. Almost soundless, it converts food into a mossy-like substance throughout a 16-hour process. Intercity General Manager Stacey Ball says this technique cut over 33 metric tons from their waste stream. The operation, including the machine, food tray station, and various supplies needed, was around $140,000, but it was well worth it in the effort to make our planet greener.
The waste diversion is just one part of our overall strategy to reduce our carbon footprint. So this was, our project for last year, and we'll continue to do other things in the years to come as we have in the years past.
With new policies comes new learning curves. It will take some time for all customers and staff to get used to the central disposal counter. All garbage and recycling containers, primarily in the food court, have been removed, with the exception of various spots around the mall. This difference will become second nature to everyone very soon.
People, they don't know necessarily what to do with their garbage because we've removed all garbage and recycling containers from the food court. So once they see the tray station, they either bring their trays up or we collect them from their table from them. But some people have, a little bit unsure at first.
All compost created by the machine has plans to go to good locations to improve soil quality and plant growth. Intercity is now able to move on to their plans of creating a new way to reduce the mall's greenhouse gas output, further improving our environment each and every day. Jaden Billick, TBT News.
Outside of the city now, where an agency is touting the benefits of virtual autism services and the impact it's having on children. Out of Sault Ste. Marie, here's CTV's Corey Nordstrom.
Didn't you? Oh, you want to rock? Okay, let's rock.
Kate Guzzo-Foliero has 2 children on different ends of the autism spectrum. She says the pair require very different types of autism services, with one preferring virtual.
Not every child fits into that type of learning or that type of box, and we need to change our services to meet the needs of the families that we're providing service to.
In collaboration with Kinark, a center that provides virtual programs and services, Guzzo-Foliero recently completed a research brief. It claims the outcome of virtual autism services are comparable to some in-person services and have many additional benefits.
Virtual services are certainly another option for families, particularly for families who may face significant barriers to accessing in-person treatment.
Kinark officials say online programs include service navigation and working directly with parents. The head of the Ontario Autism Coalition agrees that virtual services have a place, but says they do not equal a traditional face-to-face between a child and a professional.
Applied behavioral analysis, speech-language therapy, and occupational therapy. For most families, they prefer to have those things in person. There's a big difference in quality of care when you're getting something in person, one-on-one, as opposed to consultative over the phone or over Zoom.
Guzzo Foliero says she hopes all families can be offered both options, virtual and in person, as she feels both can be effective in their own way. Corey Nordstrom, CTV News, Sault Ste. Marie.
Stats Canada has found only about 5% of skilled trade workers in our country are women. While a roundtable discussion in North Bay, which included members of the provincial government, discussed ways to build up women in the sector. CTV's Eric Tashner reports.
Sarah LaChapelle is breaking down barriers with her choice to study at North Bay's Canadore College.
Carpentry was my final choice, and I love it. I've been loving it so far, and it's definitely something I want to pursue.
She doesn't mind being a trailblazer for women.
In school so far, I'm actually the only girl in my class right now. Last year it was a little different. We had 3 girls, but in the workforce as well, I'm the only woman.
Statistics Canada finds that across the country, only about 5% of skilled trades workers are women. Jill Rydell teaches carpentry at the school and would like to see more younger women like Sarah get their foot in the door.
And let me tell you, women are super talented when it comes to using any of the equipment. They're just gifted, and there's very viable careers.
Rydell sat in on a roundtable discussion led by a representative from the Ford government.
We've seen a 30% increase of women in female apprenticeships. So a lot of employers are saying when we have women on the job site, it's a better environment.
Williams says the biggest barrier is discrimination, whether obvious or not. She says shockingly, around half of the women who enter the trades leave after 4 years. The next discussion is to find ways to keep them.
Creating maybe investments to allow some of our companies and our businesses to make those extra spaces and investments to make, a safe space, a women's washroom, a women's change room.
Williams says these discussions can pave the way for a brighter future for the next generation of women.
I always say if you can see me, you can be me. And so we need to tell the story about what the opportunities are.
There's lots of barriers, so I'm not letting them stop me.
Eric Tashner, CTV News, North Bay.
Cadets from all over northwestern Ontario were invited to an event this weekend that highlighted team building, leadership, and health and physical fitness. Winterpalooza featured a number of winter-based activities and was the largest cadet get-together since the pandemic. Jessica Clement reports.
For the first time since the pandemic, Sea, Army, and Air Cadets from across northwestern Ontario got together at the Kekabeka Legion for a weekend filled with various winter activities.
We have 111 cadets. They're from communities all over northern Ontario. We have 16 cadet units from 11 communities, as far west as Kenora and Red Lake, and as far east as Marathon.
Zone Training Officer Captain Gaetan Mainville says Winterpalooza is considered one of the largest cadet get-togethers in northwestern Ontario. Cadets were able to participate in snow sculpture contests, cross-country skiing, carnival-style games, evening socials, and other collaborative activities. The event is meant to highlight team building, leadership, and health and physical fitness. Chief Petty Officer First Class Biesenthal says Winterpalooza is a great way for cadets to meet like-minded individuals and make new friends from outside their units.
Typically there's a separation between all the 3 elements, so there's Army, Air, and Sea cadets, but in the end we're all just cadets and we're in this program for the same purpose. And I think it's really good to have some camaraderie and team building between all those 3 elements, and an opportunity for those, especially out of town, to meet some friends in the cadet program that aren't just from their unit.
After 4 years, Mainville and Biesenthal say it's great to finally have the winter event back.
We have had more success in the summer, but as far as during the standard school year of the scale, it's been excellent, and I'm sure that if you speak to any of the cadets, they'll repeat the same message.
I've been in Sea Cadets since I was 12 years old, and I remember the days before COVID, it was much like this, so it's really nice. The program took a big hit, so it's really nice to see us coming back and have a lot more cadets in attendance.
Jessica Clement, TBT News.
Over 3,000 pounds of hockey equipment has been donated to Slate Falls First Nation as a way to help increase access to the sport for First Nations youth. The donation was made by WestJet Tamikanaku's Children's Fund, with equipment contributed by several hockey organizations in Southern Ontario. The items amount to about 100 bags of hockey gear. This was a follow-up to 2 previous WestJet donations, which included 700 pounds of hockey equipment to Sandy Lake First Nation in 2022. Mikanakus is a charity created to address poverty by providing basic amenities to First Nations children. Executive Director Emily Shandrook says they're also working hard to make it easier for youth in remote communities to access sports.
Especially living where we do, hockey's a pretty universal language. You know, whether you're playing on a team or it's just boot hockey on the streets, kids just want to have fun. And so to be able to provide this to any youth, but we've worked with the school in Slate Falls for many years now, and the principal there is so involved and just wants kids to be active and have fun.
And we're now joined by sports anchor Josh Morano. Josh, just a wonderful donation there for those kids. And we're actually going to be sticking with hockey because you've got some North Stars action.
Yeah, the Thunder Bay North Stars in action this weekend, taking on the Wisconsin Lumberjacks in a 2-game set. And we'll get those highlights for you coming right up after the break.